I purchased all of the new Kat Von D Shade and Light blushes, and they just came in last night, so I went ahead and I used one today. And I thought I would go ahead and do a swatch video for you guys on them, and also kind of give you my first impressions. The packaging follows suit with her Shade and Light type of packaging, like as far as the cardboard is concerned. And then inside each blush you do get a shade, and it says Shade Plus Light Blush, two-tone blush. Define your cheeks through the art of color. And there's a little diagram like this in each one of the blushes. Now these blushes have been getting like really mixed reviews, so I'm gonna try to zoom in and give you guys swatches the best that I can, so hopefully you'll be able to better judge for yourself whether or not there'll be something you'll like. I do have the shade Sid and Nancy on today on my cheeks as my blush, and this is what Sid and Nancy looks like. It's I'd say it's like a darker coral and then a lighter peachy shade, and I just swirled them together to put the product on my cheeks, and I used a Wayne Goss number 14 brush. I almost felt like I wanted to dig the brush in there. Granted, that's a more wispy brush, and I should have grabbed a little bit stiffer brush for a product like this, because these are pressed really hard. Like if you were to feel it with your hands, it feels really smooth. Like it feels really smooth and really finely milled, but it is pressed hard. So because it's so smooth and finely milled and pressed so hard, I feel like I may get hard pan fairly easy. Like if there's any type of moisture from a brush, or if I used a brush that I used a highlight on, got a little bit of moisture from my face on there and went into this, I feel like I'm going to get direct hard pan. This particular formula reminds me of a BH Cosmetics blush that I used to have in the past. And not that there's anything wrong with a BH Cosmetics, you know, blush or anything like that, but they're cheaper, and these are $25 a piece. So I feel like the actual product inside feels a little bit cheaper than I think they should. This is one of the lighter shades, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get all of these blushes to show up on my skin tone because I'm very pale, but I think that a little bit deeper, light, medium, dark skin tones may have a hard time getting these to show up. And I'll show you, there are two halves of two blushes that are deeper in skin tone that I think if you really built it up, you'd be able to see those on dark skin tones. But considering the other half is so light, it kind of makes me like this about them for a deeper skin tone. So hopefully you guys can see that in the swatches when I get up close. But let me show you the size comparison compared to her eyeshadows, which are these little compacts right here, size wise. So here's the eyeshadow and here's the blush, and each blush has 9 grams of product, or 0.317 ounces, which is a ton of blush. That's almost like the size of a face powder. And another thing that I kind of like is each pan, you'll be able to fit your blush brush in each pan pretty easily without picking up one or the other. I use this one together. I'll probably use a lot of them together, and considering that the light half on those shades is in with the dark shades, and it's so much lighter than the dark shades, I feel like swirling those together and concentrating my brush more on the light side is going to really allow me to use those deeper shades a lot easier on my skin. I also see that all of the blushes are a matte finish. So here is the first blush, and this is in the shade Sid and Nancy. So you got Shade and Light. So I'm assuming Shade and Light, Sid and Nancy. And then these are the two colors. And this again is what I have on my cheeks today, and I just swirled the two shades together. So I'm going to do them, my nail polish is already chipping. I just put it on yesterday, but I'm going to do them single, and then I'm also going to swirl them together. And I'm going to really, really put my finger in here. And if I'm not getting the hard pan with this much rubbing, maybe I might get away with not getting any hard pan, but normally when things are pressed that hard, it's more prone to getting that hard pan or that hard surface on the top of your powder products. So here's the shade side, and the middle finger is the light side, and then here's the two mixed together. So there is Sid and Nancy. This next one is called Samson and Delilah. And this one looks like that. Again, same type of swatching. I'm going to really give it a good old swatch in here. These they feel really smooth, but they're pressed so hard. I'm really surprised that I'm not getting hard pan just doing this, like what I'm doing right now. But why is this camera being naughty? So you've got the middle finger, which is the shade. This finger is the light, and then here they are mixed together. you can kind of see the texture there. They're smooth, but they look kind of chalky type of deal. So that one is Samson and Delilah. Next up we have got Bonnie and Clyde, and this is my personal favorite shade out of all 7 of them. I really like this light color on this side, and then I can really customize the purple by dipping into the deeper shade. But again, the formulation on all of these is pretty much the same. So here we'll do the contour, and then the light side, and then we'll mix them together. So you've got contour, light, shade and light, and then them mixed together. Right there. This next one is called Morticia and Gomez. I like these shades as well. That purple berry type of tone in there. I'm really kind of getting in there with it, so that hopefully you guys can see. You've got shade, light, and then them mixed together. So there is Morticia and Gomez. Next up is Piaf and Poe. And this is more like neutral tones. Neutral pinks, I would guess. Rose colors, let's call them. Shade, light, and then them mixed together. So there's Piaf and Poe. This one is Mickey and Mallory. And that's what that one looks like. This one's more nude, I guess. The other one is more of a rose shade. And shade and light. And then mixed together. So there's the shade, the light, and then they mix together. See, that should pop a little more considering I'm so fair, but... And then the last shade is called Hansel and Gretel. And this is what Hansel and Gretel looks like. An even more nude brown kind of terracotta type color. Now this is one of the darker duos. And like, hopefully you can see in the swatches that, you know, even being the darkest shade in this, it still isn't coming off that dark. So... I mean, considering there's 7 shades of contour and light, or shade and light, I really think that they could have expanded on the deeper shades for deeper skin tones, because these are all, you know, these I really dug in there, but you can see when I swatch them, they're not all that dark. So that one is Hansel and Gretel. So I think depending on the person, you're either going to really like them or you're going to really not like them. It's really going to depend. I know that I'm going to be able to make them show up, but I did expect more from a Kat Von D product, especially in terms of like the texture and the pigmentation of them. They just weren't something that I was expecting. I only use these today, so this is just a first impression, and I'm kind of like this. I'm in the middle. I do know that I have blushes that I've paid $25 for that are nicer than these though. I expected more, especially for the price tag, but because I'm so pale, I will be able to get these to work. Now, if they create a glaze with hard pan, like after 2 or 3 uses, sending them back to the stove. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.